way to the other. So before we slaughter each other, we are saying to the government of America, since you refuse to get along with us in peace and give us justice, then we would like to be separated in a state or territory of our own. Now, if that sounds strange to you, then why would you recognize Pakistan when these are two Indian people who separated because of religion? One was Hindu and another was Muslim. And so now you have Pakistan on one side, Bangladesh on the other. But that's okay. But for us to want to separate from your beloved America, we seem to be doing something wrong.
Minister Farrakhan, if we talk about the relationship between the Nation of Islam and other Muslim African Americans who are not part of the Nation of Islam, how do you characterize the relationship right now?
Most all Muslims that are not members of the Nation of Islam but call themselves Muslims came through the Nation of Islam. So if it were not for the Nation of Islam, maybe you wouldn't have so many African American Orthodox Muslims. Since your power to convert people is very weak, but our power to convert our people to Islam is very strong. And if it were not for the emergence of Imam Warithuddin Muhammad and the departure of Elijah Muhammad, maybe you would not have so many African American Orthodox Muslims. So even Imam Warithuddin came through the Nation of Islam. So that's wonderful. Shows you the power of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam.
In that context, the relationship that you have now with the family of Malcolm X, Betty Shabazz, and what happened with Kubaila, is it all things are over now and cleared?
Oh no. You know, we have to be honest, you know. The death of any human being creates serious problems. In our world of Islam, the death of Hussein, Hassan, and Ali has produced bitter feelings between Shia and Sunni Muslims now for nearly 1400 years. And that wound in our world of Islam has not yet been healed. Malcolm X is our brother who had a problem with the Nation of Islam and its leadership, and unfortunately was assassinated. 30 years have passed, and Sister Betty Shabazz and I have met over the problem of her daughter, and a beginning of reconciliation has taken place. That's a process that has begun but has not ended. So there must be further dialogue, and there must be further healing to take place. And I would say, going back to your last question, those of us in the Nation of Islam, we love all our Muslim brothers, whether they agree with us Islamically or not. When they say ashaddu an la ilaha illallah wa ashaddu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, that's a Muslim. And we love Muslims, and we will not be seen in the public arguing with Muslims, even though they would argue with us because they don't see us as true Muslims. Allah is sufficient as the judge. But we love all our Muslim brothers, and we do everything we can to affect brotherly relations with all Muslims in the United States and throughout the world.
How about the relationship between the Nation of Islam and non-Muslim African American, especially leaders like Jesse Jackson, the NAACP, and other bodies?
We are brothers. We are brothers. And our role today in America is similar to the role of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, in Arabia 1400 years ago. His people were divided into tribes, and they were at war with each other. The Prophet had to effect friendly relations with warring tribes till he was ultimately successful in bringing those tribes together.